Coming in hot, Chichi. What's going on, brother?
Coming in hot. Big weekend. Big long weekend for Sean Casey. Sean Casey is turning and burning. What are you, kicking tires? What is it called? Kicking tires like that?
Yeah, well, dude, I'll tell you what, man. I was at the Bristol Motor Speedway this weekend. Major League Baseball and NASCAR, like they did it, man. It was an incredible spectacle. 90-some thousand people. And the field was incredible how they put it there. I mean, it was like a humongous spectacle party. It was two superpowers coming together. They nailed everything but the weather. At the end of the day, you can't control Mother Nature, and it looked like it was going to hold off, and all of a sudden, man, the rains opened up, the heavens opened up, and they ended up banging the game like a little after 10 o'clock. But they tried to hang on, tried to do the best they could. It was just incredible being there, though. It was like one of the nights we had Johnny Bench and Chipper Jones on the set, which was so cool.
Sure.
Got a chance to talk hitting with them on the set. Jake Owen came on our set. Tim McGraw was there. A lot of people were there at this event, so it was really neat. But the bummer was they didn't play Saturday night. They ended up playing today on Sunday, but not Saturday.
Yeah, I mean, what are you going to do about that? It's tough. Plus, did you see the time lapse of them building that field was so amazing. But then when I saw that, there's puddles because they just built the field. It's not like a Major League Baseball field has drainage every 15 feet, right? When you're under.
They spend millions of dollars on every Major League Baseball field is like a kitchen sink. Seriously, the rain hits, it's like, it flows down. It's like you spend money on the drainage. There was no drainage there, so you could see. And I tell you what, they got that first inning in, but you could see the puddles in the infield. And I've been in games before where there's puddles. It may be the eighth inning, seventh or eighth, and you're looking around to the umps like, hey, you gonna call this? Because I don't want to slip and pull a groin here. I got 60 games to go. So I think the umps made the right decision. They got Snitker and Tito out there to talk, and at the end of the day, they're like, it's probably time to bang it.
Yeah, and honestly, it was still great. Well, listen,
that was great. It was incredible. Yeah.
Meanwhile, on the flip side of things, we have, all right, why don't we start with the positive? Your Boston Red Sox have moved into second place in the American League East, and that coincides with the New York Yankees getting swept by the Marlins, who, by the way, right now, this is a stat that came out today, they're the only team in the history of baseball who actually has a winning record against the New York Yankees in franchise history.
Really? The Marlins?
Yeah, after today's game. So, okay, we got to give props to the Red Sox. They have a good team, and they've been hanging in there all year. But also, the big thing is, Yankee fundamental baseball, blah, blah, blah. So, start there in the AL East.
Well, I think, starting with the Red Sox, man. I mean, Bregman's back. He means so much to that team. Roman Anthony, turns out he's legit. He's the real deal. You know what I mean? Rafaela, Abreu, that whole team. Trevor Story's healthy. I think that's a big part of this story, dude. He's hitting ball at the ballpark. He's a great teammate, great guy. When you have I like the mix of young guys and the veterans on that team. That line up there, especially with Bregman and Story, that can kind of lead those young guys and lead them to teach them how to be big leaguers. I think that's a big deal in that clubhouse. Obviously, Alex Cora is one of the best managers in the game, too, of managing people. I know Breslow wanted to do more at the deadline. I think they tried to trade a few top 100 prospects. It just kind of didn't work out. I think that's where they might have missed at the deadline, was getting that one piece in that rotation, that big starter. I think they were going after Joe Ryan, but, is Joe Ryan going to be the Tarek Skubal of last year? Remember last year with the Orioles? Tarek Skubal going to the Orioles, Detroit didn't trade him. They go on that run. They trade Flaherty, go on the run. They make the postseason. A.J. Hinch, manager of the year. You know what I mean? And then this year, Skubal wins the Cy Young. This year, he's one of the best pitchers in the game. So sometimes it's a trade you don't make, and I think the Twins are looking at no, we want to win moving forward. That's why Joe Ryan didn't go anywhere. But I do think, listen, at the end of the day, the Red Sox got Coach Crochet. Giolito's been pitching better. Bayo's has been good. So they definitely have some pieces, to make the run. There's no doubt about it.
Dude, that was great points all around on that one. You're locked in on the Red Sox. I didn't know how locked in you were at the Red Sox.
Yeah.
That was good.
Yeah.
All right. Now, meanwhile, dude, it's just
what are they saying in New York, dude? You're with the New York Post, and you're a Yankee fan. I mean, you probably have a heartbeat better than anybody right now.
Okay. Well, who? There's a lot of different theys out there. If I would just say this, if you're a Yankee, Yeah, if you're a Yankee or a Yankee fan, a Yankee teammate or family member, don't go on social media right now.
Right. Well,
That's a fact. I mean, people are calling for Aaron Boone's head. Now, from a baseball standpoint, I'll tell you this. I have seen this one thing. Hey, let's not forget Aaron Judge is on a DL. Okay, and there's a lot of one-run games, but dude, the fundamentals. Jazz got a pop up to second base, got thrown out at first, and doubled up when he was on first last night. So that goes nuts. Then, of course, game just happens to be on the air when A-Rod and Jeter are on the post-game show. And so that gets heated up and it gets popped up that A-Rod's like, oh, I'd be benched if that were me. So obviously, if you're in New York, this is like New York gone wild right now.
right.
That's it.
Yeah, it sounds like. Well, hey, I saw Boone say a couple things. At the end of the day, they're the Yankees, man. And if they lose the game, it's scrutinized. If they make errors, it's scrutinized. I mean, we're calling for Volpe's head, and he's hit 7 homers in the last 13 games. He's got more RBIs than Francisco Lindor. He's got the most home runs for a shortstop in the AL. He's third behind De La Cruz and Lindor. I mean, a week ago we were calling for his head because he made a couple of errors and all that stuff. I think this stuff's very fluid. With the Yankees now, the problem is they have not played well for a while now. The body of work is pretty long now. It's, we're talking about maybe a 6-week period, something like that, where they were in first place comfortably. Now all of a sudden they're in third place behind the Red Sox and behind the Blue Jays. And at the end of the day, if you're in New York, you have to win. That's just the way it goes. You know what I mean? So, and the bottom line is, I think they're finding out too, with having their pitching banged up. I mean, the big reason isn't because Jazz Chisholm got doubled up and Anthony Volpe threw one into the ground. Like, that's just magnified that their pitching has struggled. And the rotation's been banged up. Luis Gil's back now, but the rotation's been banged up. They're relying on 2 really young, almost rookies in that rotation to carry them. Losing Garrett Cole at the beginning of the year hasn't been great. Clark Schmidt's out for the year with Tommy John. You're really leaning on Max Fried and Rodon. And then you go out the other night and get all the pitchers, Bednar and Doval and Bird, and those guys all pitch, and they give up an 8-run lead or whatever.
That was
and then now the sky's falling in New York. So I get it, and Boone gets it, dude. You don't think Boone gets it? Boone's the one got to guess. He's been in this game his whole life, so he understands it. But as at the end of the day, as a leader of men, you're the one guy that has to. You got to stay tough. You got to take the bullets. You got to make sure that you keep the ship going straight. And I'm sure they're talking about calling for his job now, and Boone's got to go. I get it. He gets it. He gets it. If anyone gets it, Aaron Boone gets it. The bottom line is they need to win ball games. And winning cures all ails. Judge will be back soon. Not having Judge is a huge hit. Stanton's been swinging it since he's back in it. Maybe Big G's talking about he's going to have to go to the outfield and play a little bit out there. Cool. That's fine. Got to have him in the lineup. Listen, if Judgy comes back, I think the team's different. The bottom line, Chinch, the pitching's got to be better. You cannot win in Major League Baseball without good pitching, especially in the AL East. But the bottom line is it ebbs and flows, and hopefully the Yankees at some point here can get on a run because I still think they're a really good team.
I agree with you wholeheartedly. Now, another team that's in a swoon are your Houston Astros, who, man, this is the same kind of thing. You talk about the ebbs and flows of the season. Everybody's like, here's the Astros. They're not going away. Division's over. Boom. Lose 8 out of 10. You got the Mariners 2.5 back, and now they have a lineup that looks a lot different. I saw you the other night on MLB Network talking about how stretched out their lineup is, the Mariners. And let's not sleep on the Rangers, 4.5 out of that division, right?
Well, I think Jerry DiPoto saw blood in the water. He was like, you know what? We can get after the Astros right now. Pena was down. Alvarez still wasn't back. I think he felt like, you know what? Our pitching's really good out here in Seattle, but we need the bats. He goes and gets the big fish in Suarez, brings in Naylor just before that. So he gets the 2 best bats from Arizona, brings them over, puts them right in the middle of that lineup where you got Cal Raleigh having an MVP-type season, 42 bombs. J.P. Crawford's been good at the top there too. Julio Rodriguez is starting swinging. Now your lineup is deeper. Now you look at that. Now you look at the rotation, the bullpen, and you go, all right, if we can score some runs, we're going to win some ball games. And that's the thought process. Now with the Astros kind of taking a hit because they've been playing really good for a while now. You knew at some point that wasn't going to be the case, but they're taking a hit. You see the Mariners climbing, the Rangers are climbing. What do we say? When we're talking like this in April, May, it's a marathon, not a sprint. After the break, it's a sprint, dude. It's a full out 400. Here we go, and let's get all our ducks in a row, and let's make a push. And I think the Mariners did a great job at the deadline. I was saying on the network the other day, I feel like they're one of the big winners. You know, they didn't get all the bullpen pieces that the Mets got or the Padres got, but they got two big time bats, and that's what they needed because they already had the pitching.
Yeah. There you go. All right. We cannot go away without friends of the podcast. The entire team are friends of the podcast. We were here. We were on them first. Dude, the Milwaukee Brewers. Come on, bro. How about this? Here's a stat. They had 56 hits over their 3 games against the Nationals this weekend. It's the most hits by any NL team in a 3-game series since the Brooklyn Dodgers in 1950.
Wow, dude.
They're the best team in baseball right now.
Hey, Chinch. Do they not play to Pat Murphy's personality?
It's amazing.
Because you want to talk about, I'm serious when you say, you want to talk about getting benched? Go ahead and play some sloppy ball. You'll be gone. You'll be benched. I actually believe that. Pat Murphy, we felt like that with Jim Leland too. Like, oh man, I think Pat Murphy does a great job of kind of riding that line with a lot of guys, young players. Look at Terang hit 2 home runs, yesterday. Felix hitting the ball in the ballpark. Perkins has been lights out, over 900 OPS, hitting close to 300, who Murphy loves. Yelich is that superstar in the middle of the lineup. Andrew Vaughn's been awesome since he's come over in that trade. It's just, Contreras has been, it's fun to watch. Durbin's been good. But these guys come at you, Chinch. They're like fire ants. You know what I mean? They're like, oh man, I just stepped in a fire ant thing, and the guys, one's in my underwear, one's in my neck, one's in my hat. How did this happen? That's the Milwaukee Brewers, dude. They're like a bunch of fire ants. The average Joes, he calls them, but like the fire ants, like can't get rid of them, and all of a sudden you're destroyed, and they're just winning, and they're winning. They're like coming for you. They're not winning 1-0, 2-1. They're swinging it, and they have a lot of players that we don't even know who these guys are.
Right. How about this? They have 6 guys with at least 10 stolen bases.
Wow.
6 guys, dude. And they got a guy with 9 in Ortiz. Dude, they do everything hard. I'll say it that way. It might not all be perfect. They bunt, they lay the ball.
Get them in.
Mm-hmm.
They're not leaving. They're getting them over, get them in. Who did Vaughn the other day? Just sack fly, boom, run, score, boom, got him in. You watch Brewer baseball, you're like, oh, maybe this kind of baseball where you're trying to score more runs than the other team and not so worried about all the numbers and the exit velos and all that crap. This works too when you're just trying to put runs across the board. So, listen, we talked about the Yankees on the flip side about the pitching's been struggling. The Brewers' pitching's been right on time. When you got Woodruff back, who had a great outing the other day, Miz is banged up. I saw he went on the IL, so that could hurt them.
Yeah,
but tough. Peralta's been great. Quinn Priester's come over from the Red Sox, who was basically let go by the Pirates. The Pirates dropped the ball again. He was their first-round pick a few years ago. They said, threw him to Boston for a bag of balls, and then Boston let him go. Milwaukee grabs him. Guys punching tickets at an epic rate, and has been a really good 4 or 5 starter for him. And then you got in the back end of the pen, you got tons of fuel, but you got Uribe, McGill in the back end there. I mean, they have everything they need to win a championship. They didn't make a ton of moves at the break, but they also feel like we got the team right now to do it.
Well, don't forget this. I don't think I've heard this yet this year. They were a Pete Alonso wacky home run away from being in the championship series last year, right? Don't forget, Christian Yelich was shut down for that entire. He was gone. He was shut down, and now he's sitting in the middle of that lineup as a vet who is really the nicest guy in the world, and clearly
he's so nice.
He's so nice, and he's got 73 ribbies and 15 stolen bases with 21 bombs, dude.
Dude, I want to make one point about Yelich. I thought this was great. You remember, if you go back and look at his numbers in like April, dude, and May, he was terrible. And I remember there was an interview and they asked him about, what's going on. You're hitting $170. It was like bad numbers. And he goes, been here before. I know I just got to keep showing up and grinding, keep with my routines, and the numbers are going to come back. I always say the back of the baseball card doesn't lie. And dude, look at his numbers, and he's gotten super hot. But I think that rubs off on all the younger guys when they look at a guy like Yelich struggling, but he's still the same. You don't know if he's 0 for 4 or 4 for 4. He just put your head underwater and go. That's what I used to think of as big leaguers. You want to be great in this game? Put your head underwater and go. Get in your own little world. Make sure your process is tight. Show up in that batter's box. Don't make a pitch. Make pitch-by-pitch adjustments. Have everybody buy in. Have your leaders be your leaders, where younger guys can follow them, like a Christian Yelich, and they look at Reese Hoskins. They look at these guys. Oh, that's how you do it? Oh, wait, you got hot after struggling? Yeah, just keep going, man. Get your head underwater. Get good routines, good habits. Let's keep grinding. Keep pushing. Let Pat Murphy tell the jokes. Let him put the right lineup up. Let him keep us loose. Let him have us with a thought process of accountability, and that's who the Brewers are, man. It's impressive. And Mike Vasallo, appreciate you reaching out to us, getting guys on. We're reaching out to, we feel like the Brewers have been the team of the mayor's office this year.
Dude, we've had almost every Brewer on.
Yeah.
By the way, before the season, during the season, now here, while they're the first place team, they've all been the same guy. Very nice people, very fired up, love their manager, and love playing for the Brewers.
It's great, dude.
Championship caliber team.
So great. And I'll tell you what, Chance, there's nothing better than Milwaukee fans.
Yeah, dude.
When they're winning, dude, Miller Park is bumping.
Love it. I love it. All right. We end on a very positive note there. And we will be with you all week. Right, Case?
Yes, we will be here all week. Can't wait. Chinsky, I love you, man. How was your weekend, dude?
I got so much sun. I'm very excited about it.
You got so much sun. You sit by the pool?
Yes, both days. It's fantastic. I'm dark.
Sorry, I lost you. Yeah. Step at the pool the whole time? Nice, dude. Nice. All right, brother. Hey, everyone out there, appreciate you listening to the mayor's office. It was awesome seeing a lot of Reds fans out there in the Bristol Motor Speedway. It was great kind of like bumping into people, and it was just a lot of fun seeing the Reds fans because nobody best. And I found a couple Casey jerseys in the stands.
Yes, dude.
I was like, there they are. I was up in a suite, and I was like, look, there they are. So I found a couple.
Awesome.
All right, brother. Love you, man. Everyone out there, appreciate you. We'll catch you guys tomorrow.
See ya.